When he goes all the way down south, he stops on December 22nd. On December 22nd, the sun hits the lowest degree on the earth, and it doesn't go any further south than December 22nd. On the 23rd and 24th, the sun rises on the exact same degree. The U.S. Navy has instruments that can show you it did not move northward or southward, but for 3 days it stayed on December 22nd, 23rd, and 24th on the same degree. So the ancient Egyptians said the sun was moving all along, and anything that's moving every day is alive, but now for 3 days, God's son is dead in his grave. He's dead. He's not moving. Then on December 25th, the sun moves 1 degree northward, which means it is now beginning its annual journey back to the northern hemisphere. So now we celebrate his born again. He's come back. After all, he said he would return. Well, he's out, the 25th, and move 1 degree. That means he's alive. As he comes back over the equator to the northern part of the earth, as he passes over the equator, the ancient Egyptians celebrated spring. And they said that the sun, we say today when someone dies that they passed away, or grandmother passed last night, or they passed on. Passed means they died. The Egyptians said that God's son, who's the light of the world, has died for 3 days. But he has come back to life, December 25th, Christmas. We celebrate God's son's birthday. Yeah, the sun's birthday. And as it comes back across the equator, we celebrate what is called spring, because now he is springing back to life. And so as it passes over the equator, the ancient Egyptians celebrated something called the Passover, because in the first week of spring it passes over the equator, so it became known as the Passover. And so today we have Jews celebrating the Passover, which is the sun in spring passing over the equator. Well, the Christians have got to do the same thing. But they don't want to have anything to do with the Jewish religion, for God's sakes. Well, what would that look like? So they wouldn't have anything to do with the Jewish religion. So they have the Christian religion, which is the actual truth. And in the real truth, it's the resurrection, we say, of God's Son. The resurrection. And I say, what the hell are you talking about, resurrection? It came back to life. It's a resurrection. It's a Passover. Well, get out, get a life. It's just the sun passing over the equator, for God's sake. You know it better than anybody else. It's all worship of the sun. And so that's why in the Middle Ages and in the Middle East, in what we call Phoenicia, Cana, Egypt, they had a celebration in celebrating Easter, or what we call Easter. And it's actually Ishtar. Ishtar is the goddess who comes back, Ishtar, and so we celebrate her coming back. She's coming back to life. And as it passes over the equator, we equate that sun passing over the equator with Virgo, the Virgin. So God's son is now born of a virgin. Yeah, Virgo, the virgin. And, that's why Leonardo da Vinci, when he painted the Last Supper, and he has 12 apostles, the 3 and 3, 3 and 3. There are 4 groups of 3. Yeah, spring, summer, autumn, winter. Get a life. And the sun's in the middle, and the sun's in the middle. This is why there's a 12 apostles plus the God's son is 13. 13 is an unlucky number. It goes into Masonry. I could explain this whole thing, and there's so much to tell you. I don't even know where the hell to start with this stuff. I could go on for hours explaining how the Masons knew that they were going to overthrow the existing government in America in 1776. Because in ancient Hebrew theology, 8 was the number of new beginnings. 8. If you call for a cab, there's one out there. Anyway, in the Hebrew, ancient Hebrew theology, 8, the number 8 was the number of new beginnings. You start things over on an 8. So 8 was the only number. 8 was the only number that you can continue to draw without picking your pen up, without picking the pencil up, because it goes on forever. So therefore, you lay an 8 down, it becomes infinity, and go on forever. So 8 is the number of new beginnings, and 13 was in ancient philosophy. 13 was a perfect number for government. Perfect number is God's Son with his chosen 12. That's a perfect government. 12 apostles with their master of the sun is perfect government. So the Masons decided they were going to have their revolution against England according to the astrological symbols. They knew what they were doing. So they said the revolution must happen in 1776, and it must happen in July, because of the constellations that will be visible in the heavens in July will facilitate the revolution. They knew astrology. So they had their revolution in 1776, which is 1 and 7 is 8, and 7 and 6 is 13. So it's the perfect government based on the perfect number of 8 is new beginnings, beginning something anew, and 7 and 6 is 13, a new government. So the Masons overthrew the British Empire. They knew they had to do it in 1776, and they had to do it on a particular point where the constellations were over the United States. It's a fascinating study of how the people who run this planet...
9/11, tell us about 9/11.
9/11 is simply a gimmick to scare the peawads out of everybody so that you will not bow down on your knees and ask the government to protect you. That's all it is. Adolf Hitler did the same thing. He burned the Reichstag down. He had his own guys go out and burn the government building down to scare the hell out of everybody. And he said, I can't do anything about these people are crazy. They're burning down the government. They're killing people. The only thing I can do is if you tell me to. I can't do anything because I'm just a humble man. But if you tell me to do something, I got to do it, then I'm obliged. So everybody said, you've got to protect us. Well, if I've got to protect me, the only way I can protect you is give me absolute power to be God. Well, we'll give you all the power. Do anything you need to protect us. Yeah, that's what I wanted. You chumps are stupid. That's what I wanted. That's why I paid the guys to go out and blow down the building so that you would give me the power to be God. Now that I got the power to be God, you go into prison. That's the way these people work. They are tricksters.
Do you think 2012 will be exploited?
No, I don't think. 2012 is not important to me. It's just a calendar day. It's like saying to me, what do you think is going to happen on December 31st at midnight? I think it's going to change to a different year. So what? That and $2 to get you a cup of coffee. Nothing's going to happen. Anyway, I got to go. And so if you're interested in the documents I'm talking about, all the stuff I'm talking about are in documents right there. So we only have a few more minutes. So if you want to get them, you better get them now. Thank you.
Thank you.